Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
It's good to have you folks with us here this morning. Some breaking news on the Breakfast Show, Brent Apperson.
Love it. Love breaking news.
72 degrees yesterday out at the Broken Bow Airport.
Wow. I logged 70 here at 3.
Yeah, I noticed that. And, you know, sometimes it can get warm between when we do our hourly recordings, but they're always a little bit higher than we are. Seems like a degree a lot of times or two. But, hey, 70, 72?
That a record?
I would think it would have to be close. I don't know. I don't know who to talk to about that.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Yeah.
I'm sure it's in some database somewhere.
Yeah, just crazy.
Yeah.
December 7th.
Yeah, Pearl
70
Harbor
degrees.
Day. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think one of the things yesterday, the winds didn't blow quite as hard or nearly as hard that they thought they would. So yesterday was simply gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize it till we walked out of here, and I'm going, wow, what are we doing inside? But the days just don't last very long. To get 72 in a short day like we're experiencing right now is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did I say phenomenal?
I think you did. Yeah. Nice thing is, you know, Mother Nature has a way of quickly humbling you again.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow looks beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow looks great.
I heard your forecast coming in. I'm like, oh, great. Upper 30s with, what do you have the winds at tomorrow?
Oh, gusting up to 35.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So, a couple things here. Breakfast Show breaking news. We have a lot of breaking news stories this morning on
That's wonderful.
Breakfast Show.
Good way to start a Friday. Breaking news.
Breaking news. This is, let's try this here and see if I can make this work.
Reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! Great Scott! What the hell is a gigawatt?
That is time traveling.
Sound clip from Back to the Future is kind of what it sounded like. Okay.
Yep. And I want to throw this out this morning because I think most listeners out there, I think I'm safe on this, Brent, that all of us have one time or another thought, if I could travel in time, what time period would I travel back to or forward to? And, you know, I'd like to go back, personally, I'll just tell you and then you can tell me.
Sure.
I'd like to go back to the United States before all of us moved here. All of us immigrants moved in, and the Native Americans were, sitting around smoking a pipe and eating buffalo. I think that period would be interesting to see how it all worked from tribe to tribe and how they took care of the land, and I think that's a very interesting time period. Although a lot of people probably thinking about it would go like, I'd like to go back to the knight in shining armor days, or all sorts of time, maybe back in the Revolutionary War period. I mean, there'd be all kinds of different time periods you could. But I think most people will want to go back to where they had plumbing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Don't go back before that. Yeah.
So even though it would be romantic to go back to the when the Native Americans were all alone here and living their way of life, there wouldn't have been plumbing at that time. But I don't know, probably wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
Go out in the woods and take care of business. But
Yes.
Anyway, if you could travel in time, what time period would you travel to?
I know the answer, but you're going to make fun of me.
No, I won't. You know I wouldn't do that.
Probably about 1992 to 1997.
It's not really going back very far.
Well, Saturdays especially during that time period.
Are we talking football here?
Yes.
My God.
I'd love to go back to those days.
What?
Sorry. I saw a clip. There was this documentary, I think it was called Day by Day, and like the first half of it was shown here at the Fox Theater. It was kind of a documentary on those teams back in the 90s that Nebraska had. And I saw that the other day, so when you asked me that question, what time period would you like to go back to, there's my answer. I would like to go back and relive those days. That was awesome.
Now, I don't...
Sorry. See, I knew you were going to pick on me for my answer.
I'm not going to pick on you for your answer or make fun of you. I just worry about you.
Well,
I mean, if you could pick any time period in the span of the world, maybe go back and see some dinosaurs.
Although you know what, for me, maybe 70, 71, 72, and be no, seriously, to see Johnny Rogers live and in person. I'd love to go back to that period.
Brent, please.
Well, sorry.
You can watch it on a film.
I know,
you don't have to go back.
But it's not the same as living it. Just not the same as living it. So yes, my time period. I would like to go back to the 90s, particularly Saturdays, between I'll say 92 to 97.
Folks, now you know what I deal with. We have a chance to travel in time today. This is the pretend to be a time traveler.
I knew you were gonna pick on me.
Pick on an era from the future or past, the distant past, or just visit a week. The rules are you have to spend the entire day in character, and you can't tell anyone that you're on a time travel until later today, when you've experienced the time travel in your mind. Mm-hmm. But in your mind, you go back and sit in front of a TV and watch a football game or be at Memorial Stadium, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great.
Help us.
It's been a tough few years for a Husker football fan. I want to go back to the 90s.
So you wouldn't be interested in going back in time and riding on the Titanic before it sank and just to see what that was like? I mean, experiences like that in history.
No, yeah, I would love. Yes, all of that would be phenomenal. But you asked me what time period I would like to go back and revisit, and that would be it for me.
I never dreamed we would be having this conversation in this context here this morning. I figured you would go like back to biblical times or something. I didn't know it was going to be the Big Red.
Well, like I said, it's been a rough few years. I'd like to go back and relive those days.
So it wouldn't excite you to be sitting in a meadow?
Yes, no, a lot of those things would excite me. Yes, absolutely. There's many different time periods that I would love to go back and experience.
Now, like Rick Nelson is coming in today, I would imagine he'd want to go back when Edison lit the first bulb.
Yeah,
electricity, that sort of thing. Historic moments in time. The end of World War II compared to 1990, whatever.
Yeah, probably 92 to 97, right?
Please help me.
Right in that time period.
I mean, oh, folks.
My mom right now is just rolling her eyes. My mom is listening. She's having the same reaction that you are. Like, oh, son. Oh, son. But I bet there's a few people out there that would join me in going back to that time period.
I'm afraid you're right.
I know that because that documentary I was talking about, they showed it in 3 theaters and every theater was sold out.
But we're not.
See?
You can go watch it in a theater. You don't, but you can't really go back and experience sitting with your feet in a stream and watching Native American children play in front of their teepees while they're skinning a buffalo and see how they lived, or experiencing the Revolutionary War and when the United States became its own country, going back to Ireland during the potato famine and see what that was like, going back and milling around with cavemen and dinosaurs. And you're picking 1992?
Hey, Memorial Stadium, the year that Colorado came in, what were they, 3 or 2 or whatever, and we just whipped them. Back when they had Cordell Stewart and that group, just whipped them with backup quarterback. Man.
Maybe we should
I would love to go back and be there, re-experience that. So yeah, that'd be my time period.
You would go back and see the Roman Empire fall or rise, or see what that was all about?
Yeah, that would be, from a historical perspective, yes, that would be amazing to go back and
fire up with the first
be
automobile.
at some of those places. But for a Nebraska football fan, yes, I would love to go back to the 90s.
That's not what I asked you.
That's what I'm telling you. That would be my time period.
Today at the Prairie Pioneer Center, they're having beef stew, cottage cheese, fruit, and bread. The number to call if you would like to have a meal, very reasonably priced, 872-6121.
Litchfield today showing donuts and ham sandwich. I assume donuts is for breakfast. Ham sandwich for lunch at Litchfield today.
Sargent Public Schools today, smoked pork sandwiches, chips, baked beans, fruit, and milk.
Broken Bow Middle and High School, made fresh chicken burrito supreme. Pizza Hut Pizza, fresh baked zesty combo sub, and the grill station combo at Broken Bow today is a spicy chicken sandwich basket.
I mean, like Noah's Ark, you wouldn't want to go right on the Ark.
No, it'd be amazing.
They don't have bathrooms.
To go back and, see when David slung Goliath.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of historical. I'm kind of a Western guy. I'd love to go back to the old
West.
Times of the Old West. Yes,
but if you
those would be like lower on the list, below the 90s, when Nebraska was dominant in football. Sorry,
Ansley, we're having meatloaf today, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
Gothenburg today, made fresh tater hot dish with dinner roll, popcorn chicken with dinner roll. Fresh baked Italian turkey sub, made fresh pepperoni pizza on the menu today at Gothenburg.
Sandhill Schools at Dunning, featuring pizza, chips, and dessert.
Cozad today, your choice of, dill pickle pizza. Have you ever had dill pickle pizza?
No.
Sounds interesting.
It does.
Parmesan chicken sandwich or a turkey club sub, some of the choices at Cozad today.
Is this your pen?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, thank you. Oh, didn't catch it.
I could say something since you didn't catch it, but I'm not going to.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I know where your mind is going.
It was a pretty good throw. I thought you should have had that.
It was a good throw, but back in the 90s, we didn't have to throw the ball. We ran it.
Please.
I want to go back there.
Thetford Schools today, bacon cheeseburger, battered fries, carrots, veggie, fruit bar, and milk at Thetford.
Callaway today, walking tacos on the menu at Callaway Public School.
And Selma Myrna Schools today, fresh tater hot dish with dinner roll, pepperoni pizza, uncrustable cheese, and cracker platter.
Loop City today, rib ready or a pulled pork sandwich with baked beans. Some of your choices at Loop City today.
Okay. That's not exactly how I thought the show was going to go today, but never know on this show how it's going to go, that's for sure.
I don't know why you're picking on me.
I'm not picking on you.
You just asked me what time period would you like to go back to, and that's what I would like to go back to that time period.
Okay.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like to go back to other time periods.
But if you could only pick one, that's the one you'd pick.
That'd probably be at the top of my list, yeah.
Oh, my God. Mom, help him. And you know, I'm going to have to go to the Whiskey Barrel after this and pick up some adult beverages. And you can too. The Whiskey Barrel is open 7 days a week, and Stan will take care of you, and you'll enjoy your experience shopping there. It's just a great little shop to stop into. And they always make sure the prices are fair, everyday low prices. And when you make a purchase, you can get some free ice for your cooler. And remember that they keep their liquids at about 28 degrees in the cooler, so you're actually warming it up when you put it in the cooler and put ice on it. But it's a great combination. You also know that if you don't have a cooler and you're stopping to pick up some of the adult beverages to take with you, they're going to be mighty cold, and so you won't have to worry about drinking something warm. And they just are ready for you. Now, the holidays time, a lot of times folks will have a little bit of wine, white or red or something like that with a meal, and they have a nice selection of wines for you. Non-alcoholic bubbly as well if you want to have a toast without the alcohol. They're ready to work any way you want to go at the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Stop in and tell them hi, and tell them the breakfast show sent you. You're looking at me funny. I'm
not looking at... No, you're looking at me funny.
Well, let's move along then.
Okay.
It's National Salesperson Day.
Salesperson Day.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a couple of those people right here that work for us.
Yeah, and I think since it's National Salesperson Day, they maybe should bring some treats.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like back in. Well, maybe they still do this. When I was growing up, if it was, say, your birthday,
like in the 90s,
at school. Well, yeah, they probably did it in the 90s too. But when I was, this would be the 80s. Okay. when I was growing up,
way back,
and yeah. Going to school, when it was your birthday, you'd take treats for the whole class.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, so I kind of see where you're coming from there. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay,
I would love to get Christy's response on that when she gets to work today.
Oh, we'll probably get it.
I would love to hear you ask how you think that they should be treated on Salesperson Day, and say that your thought is, hey, you should go buy us treats.
We'll give it a try.
Can't wait to hear how that turns out.
I'm not scared. This is the 100th anniversary of the Hollywood sign. You know, the old...
Oh, yeah, sure.
That sits on the hill. They show it everywhere. Hollywood sign turns 100 today, unveiled in 1923, and was only intended to be up for about a year. It was actually an ad for a new housing development called Hollywoodland. But over time, the 4 letters fell off and the name stuck. Each letter is 45 feet tall, and in the 30s, an actress famously killed herself by jumping off the H.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. By the 70s, the sign was a mess until Playboy publisher Hugh Hefner raised $250,000 to fix it, and it's been a landmark ever since. So hats off to Hollywood this morning. $7:51, and another memory, if you want to go back to the 80s, kind of a sad one. No, not kind of. It was very sad. For some of us, it was terrible. On the night that John Lennon was shot outside of his New York apartment, he had signed a copy of his new Double Fantasy album for a fan, not knowing that same guy later would return with a gun. Mark David Chapman remains in prison and has been denied parole for the 12th time. And, I guess sometimes being nice, you don't get rewarded for that. But John Lennon loved New York, And he was happy there, and they took him. He had a lot of music yet to make and a lot of thoughts to pass along in the way of notes, and here's one of those.
Anytime from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And don't forget to enter our raffle. Everyone is welcome to enter. Also, visit our giving tree and pick an ornament with items listed for a family in need via Healing Hearts and Families. We are accepting donations now until December 18th. Burning Bank would like to express our sincere gratitude for your business and wish you a successful 2024. Burning Bank, member FDIC.
7:57 or 7:56 and a half. We'll be playing the game next. And we're going to throw in a Broken Bow Rotary raffle ticket. And you'll be able to pick this up, put your name on it, and then get the stub to one of the Rotary members. And you'll have a chance to win a quarter of locally grown beef or a wine basket with all sorts of goodies in it. And tickets right now are on sale, $10 for each ticket or 3 for $25, and you can buy them from any of the Rotary members. And the drawing is on December 20th, so that's coming up pretty soon. So we'll throw those in with Brent's prize this morning.
All right. We're asking questions about famous movies from the 1980s. I kind of use the term famous loosely, especially with this next one. Featuring the acting of Max von Sydow, Timothy Dalton, and Sam Jones as the title character, Flash Gordon.
Oh, man.
Remember Flash Gordon? Yeah. Flash Gordon was campy and loads of fun. Adding to the atmosphere was the great soundtrack to the movie, featuring the title song by what rock band? Who sang the theme song to the movie Flash Gordon? Was it Jethro Tull, Queen, Led Zeppelin, or The Police? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Shop at Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow on South B Street. Don't forget about their senior citizen discount, available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can also save 5% on Fridays when your order totals more than $50. Stop by and shop the aisles of Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow. They are always excited to see you. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9. Sign up for the rewards program and save even more at Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow.
AeroSeed is your local supplier of native grasses. Whether planting for pastures or CRP or other conservation plantings, AeroSeed has the seed you need. AeroSeed has locally produced grass seed varieties to enhance your opportunity for successful establishment. Send them your seeding sheet for a free quote. All mixes are custom mixed, so don't delay in order to get your seed when you want it. Learn more about native grass seedings by contacting your local AeroSeed dealer or visit aeroseed.com. Happy holidays, Central Nebraska and beyond. Whether you're a current or future customer, they wish you a wonderful holiday season and hope to see you soon at Power Solutions Broken Bow.
We have Gayleen on the line. Good morning, Gayleen. Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning.
All right, here's Brent with your question again.
Okay, we're taking you back to the 80s. The movie was Flash Gordon, and a rock band performed the title song to the soundtrack. Who was that rock band? Was it Jethro Tull, Queen, Led Zeppelin, or The Police?
Queen.
Yes, it was Queen. Yeah, what a great song. Flash.
Gayleen, help me.
All right, Gayleen, since you answered correctly, we've got a couple of prizes for you. Dave's going to give you a raffle ticket to the Broken Bow Rotary raffle that they are having here coming up. And we're going to throw in with that a gift certificate for a free personal pan pizza, one topping at Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. So you just come on out and see us when you can, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gayleen. Have a good one.
Okay, yep, bye.
Bye. It's 8 o'clock.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Go, go, go!
On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Special Report. We've just gotten a brand new read on the economy and the jobs market. Employers added 199,000 positions in November. That's up from the 150,000 increase the month before, which was hampered by auto and entertainment industry strikes. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Although job openings are starting to come down, we have not yet seen widespread layoffs, and that's really good news. The labor market has really been a source of strength, especially to those workers who are contending with higher prices. The hope is that wage gains that people have received over the last few years, that they hold as prices continue to go down.
November's gains were mostly in the areas of healthcare and government. The unemployment rate went from 3.9% to 3.7% in November. CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Here's a look at Nebraska news in a story released by KSNB-TV Channel 4. The Song of the Lark and The Best Years are novels written by Willa Cather and talks about her life living in Nebraska. Her childhood home in the state just finished a restoration project. The National Willa Cather Center started the process back in August of 2022, and they have been closed since. The $1.2 million project had been funded by donations and 2 grants from the National Park Service and Nebraska's Economic Development. After celebrating her 150th birthday, Executive Director Ashley Olson says it's nice to see people continue to have an interest in her life, especially here in Nebraska. She went on to say it's always rewarding that people are gleaning value and joy from Cathler's literature, and they still want to discover the places where she spent time in her first steps, getting a better understanding of what she lived like here in Nebraska in Red Cloud growing up as a young girl. It was these books that she writes her experience as living as a 10-year-old in Red Cloud, Nebraska, but the fact that Cather never writes the town's name in her novels, moving from Virginia as a kid, she felt very homesick moving to the middle of the country. Although more than 100 collection items and parts of the historic landmark have been restored, there's one important part of the home they are still working to reserve, and that's the wallpaper in Cather's bedroom. It was hung directly into the wood boards within the room, and she selected the wallpaper, and the fact that it was applied the way it has been applied poses a significant challenge in terms of paper deterioration. Once officials have figured out a plan how to properly restore the wallpaper, they are hoping to finish the phase by spring of 2024.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Week 14 in the NFL got underway with Thursday Night Football in Pittsburgh, with the Patriots beating the Steelers 21-18. New England quarterback Bailey Zappi had 3 first-half touchdown passes, 2 to tight end Hunter Henry. Pittsburgh quarterback Mitch Trubisky, starting for the injured Kenny Pickett, had 2 second-half touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing, but not enough. Pittsburgh falls to 7-6 and out of a wildcard spot in the AFC at the moment. New England's 3-10. NBA, we had the semifinals of the in-season tournament in Las Vegas. Lakers cruised to a 133-89 win over the Pelicans. LeBron James 30 points, Anthony Davis 16 points, 15 rebounds in the win for LA. Pacers over the Bucks 128-119. Tyrese Halliburton 27 points and 15 assists. Miles Turner 26 points, 10 rebounds for Indiana. It'll be the Lakers against the Pacers in the in-season tournament final on Saturday. NHL Kings shut out the Canadiens 4-0. LA's 11-0 on the road and set a new NHL record for consecutive road wins to start a season.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. High temperatures working up into the lower 50s for today under partly sunny skies. Winds out of the west and northwest at 10 to 20. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a low of 25. Windy and colder for your Saturday. We're back in the upper 30s for highs under partly sunny conditions. Winds out of the northwest, 25 to 30 miles per hour. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
They grow up so fast, and soon enough they're off to college. But as time goes by, the cost of tuition continues to rise. You know that college is important, but the expenses may seem out of reach. Edward Jones can help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Janet Lawhorn. Let's work together to help you tackle growing college expenses. Call us at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com to schedule an appointment. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
33 degrees under now a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Winds are out of the northwest 5 to 10. Barometric pressure still rising at 29.74. Humidity at 81%. Our high yesterday at the station, 70 degrees. Out at the airport, they reached 72 yesterday afternoon. An overnight low of 35. Sunset today at 5:09. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:52. And so far, only 1/100th of an inch precipitation measured in this month of December, as we're already at the 8th day of December. It's flying by. Time to get those parties scheduled and get set up for a nice meal with the family when they come home. And we have an expert here in the studio with us. Afif is here from Arrow Hotel. And Sweets, how you doing?
Good. Good morning. How are you?
We're good. We're good. I actually just turned the air conditioner on. This is crazy, I know, but it's just hotter than heck in here.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I got a sweater on.
You're good.
That will be peeling off soon.
You're dressed okay for it here, Afif. So we are swinging towards Christmas. How's things going?
Things are good. We've been staying busy. We've done a few parties. There's still plenty of time to do some parties if you want to schedule it. But we've been staying busy. I've been doing a lot of new baking things in the cabinet. Some lemon meringue pies, Dutch apple pies. If you guys would like some of these, a whole pie, give me your 2-3 days notice, and I'll be happy to fix you a whole pie.
That sounds pretty good.
It does sound very good.
Yeah. Just give you a little time, right?
Right. On Sundays, which were closed, I've been giving classes to the cooks on different techniques, a lot of pastry work. I was teaching them laminated doughs, and I was surprised to see how many showed up because they really, really want to learn. It's one of their only days off. But it's a lot of fun. I'm going to start GoProing some of this so that people can see what's involved in making laminated doughs, what's involved in making proper, what we call pâte brisée, which is pie dough. There's, it really breaks it down. So what I'm trying to do is give them a culinary class, much like they would be receiving if they went to culinary school.
Very good.
And it always helps for them to have more knowledge. It shows when they cook for the guests.
I would imagine, I'm probably way out of my league here, but learning to make those type of things probably rolls over, and maybe it helps them with some of the other things.
Oh, by all means, techniques, I mean, right now, sure, bakery is pâtisserie, which is totally different from hot garni, which is your hot cuisine. But techniques and learning to be very focused on these techniques. The laminated doughs are by far the hardest doughs there is to make, and basically you're laminating butter separate to a wheat dough in the dough, and this is how you make croissants, puff pastry, and danishes. When you learn the proper way of making those doughs, then you see those store-bought things at the convenience stores are really not that much. And what's nice about it, too, is they use the purity of ingredients. Real pastries, real breads, they don't have an infinite shelf life. They're not chemically balanced to do so. So, they learn to cook with all butters and sugars, cane sugars, flours, and through proper proofing of these yeast breads, you can have extended shelf life. So there's really a science, and how that translates in baking into also hot cuisine. You really learn how to, excuse me.
Sure.
Don't know why that's going on.
They always do it when you don't want them to.
Right. To learn cuisine, and I think this is sometimes where the more culinary schools are starting to go this route, but where I think where they failed, a lot of the students is, yes, you can learn technique, but you have to learn the science of what's happening. Whether you're cooking hot cuisine, whether you're doing baking, or you're doing cold food, you have to understand the science. And that's how it translates, sure.
That's interesting about the preservation side of it. Changes things a bit to be able to make it last a little bit longer and still have all the wonderful flavors and tastes.
Right.
I think most people would agree. I'm hoping that as we look back, years back, we didn't, we got our green beans out of a jar that we canned, and you got your potatoes out of the garden, you mashed them up, and you probably had some real butter that was made, and all of those things.
Made for a lot healthier America.
Exactly.
We have gone too far with processed foods.
Yeah.
We have. And sometimes I wonder if the USDA
has been
really opening their eyes to what's going on. They've had 3 generations see what high fructose syrups do to the human body. But that's what's nice about eating at restaurants, where we're scratch cooking.
Right.
Even your faster food establishments, things like that, they will have some kind of processed foods. And I'm not saying we don't totally, we have very little, but it's hard to get away from in this country because just about everything is processed. And it's nice when you can teach the culinarians, and we try to do that as much, to use raw and the purity of ingredients to put together items.
Well, we'll look forward to some of the results from that. It sounds like they're enjoying it and learning from it, and we'll benefit from it.
Absolutely.
All sounds really, really good. Menu pretty much standard. I shouldn't say standard, but the same this time of year as maybe what
we're changing a few things. Okay. Obviously, some things start coming out of season, or harder to get, or more expensive to get if you're buying from countries that are south of us. We are taking a few things off the menu, and we are adding a few things on the menu. So you'll have to come in and look at the menu. There's a few things that we will be taking off, but we'll be coming back on when the weather changes and at summertime. Some of these things I'm sure some people have been buying, but again, due to the product that comes in the fall and the winter, it becomes hard to keep it solvent on the menu.
Yeah. I think we as landlocked Nebraskans tend to forget about seasonal
Right.
Things that you are waiting for and wishing you had that you can't really. I mean, you can offer it, but it's not always going to be very good.
Exactly. You know, strawberries, we don't grow them here in Nebraska.
Right.
We have a lot of corn.
We do.
And a lot of beef, and darn good on both of those ends. But yeah, no, and that's around all over the states, you know. Obviously, California, some of the warmer climates, they can keep some of these things on the menu much longer, but it starts coming to where you're buying from Mexico and things, some products that, due to us being in the northern climates, they just don't fare well or don't taste well, or one freeze destroys them. So those things start coming from other places, and they can start becoming pricey. And we have to pass that on to our people, and we'd rather not.
Well, I know that's a challenge in your field. We see it all the way from sit-down fine restaurants to drive-thrus. It's all gone up, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of gambling in our industry, you know. when we're pricing beef or anything like that, it can change from week to week, the cost of beef, what we're paying. And so you're always trying to find that midway where you're doing okay, you're not going to lose on it. But like I say, you know, it's not like this is a price, it'll be like that the whole year. No, when we're buying, the price of beef or the price of any other commodities can change on a regular basis.
And I wonder if people realize, in your position, how much time is spent on not predicting, but trying to have what you need on hand, but not too much of it,
right.
or you know.
Yeah, no, sure. It is an industry that we deal with product that is perishable.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't even serve it when it starts looking old. It has to be served as fresh as possible. So, yeah, there is a lot of that. You know, you look at years past to see what the numbers were like at a certain time of the year. That gives you some kind of idea. The idea is to grow the slow months, but it does slow down here in the wintertime. There's no question. You're not getting the outside traffic we see here in the summertime and all the events that happen.
All right. So again, folks, if you're thinking about having a little party, get a hold of a fief. And if you're thinking about having a pretty good sized party, there's a little more space in there than people realize.
Oh, and you always have the convention center or the municipal building. We do cater, and I love catering. So if you like to have an event catered, and you don't want to be in the restaurant, and you want to be at your home, or you want to be at a convention center or whatever, give me a call. We'll be happy to oblige.
All right. You mentioned that your guys are working behind the scenes on Sundays, but the restaurant is closed. But what are your hours weekly now?
They stay the same. Monday through Thursday, we open at 11 o'clock for lunch and close at 9. On the weekend, same opening, and we close at 10.
Okay. All right.
Sundays we're closed, and that's the only day we're closed.
All right. It's good to have you in. Thanks for coming in early. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What time cooks get up, chefs get up, but I imagine sometimes a little.
We got to go make the donuts at 3 in the morning. This is not a big deal.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay, gotcha. All right. We'll take a time out with these words. Again, stop in to the Arrow Hotel, find food there, and if you got guests coming in, not a nicer place to stay than the Arrow Hotel and Suites, and they'll be right there next to the restaurant. When you can come down from your house and eat there too. It's a really good deal. Stay tuned. More after these words.
If you've been injured or recovering from surgery, your first priority is to treat your problem. At Team Physical Therapy, we will evaluate, treat, and educate you about your specific roadblocks. We offer many therapists to help. Stop by one of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Callaway, Gothenburg, and Kearney or call 872-5111. We have great resources online at myteampt.com or call 872-5111 Team Physical Therapy, together empowering able movement.
This is John Farley with Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers. And here we understand your land represents a lifetime of hard work and the decision to sell does not come lightly. I'd be happy to provide a free, no-obligation opinion of value to assist in your estate planning. Inventory is very low at the moment, so now may be the best time to get the highest dollar for your lifetime of land stewardship and sweat equity. Whatever your goal is, I'm here to help. Call me, John Farley, or check us out at LashleyLand.com.
This holiday season, give them a steal. Save $40 on the HSA 45 battery-powered hedge trimmer. Go to steelusa.com/gift guide. Now $99.99 was $139.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Don't let a cold, sinus infections, or allergies ruin your holidays. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. Accredited investors, are you tired of the volatility of the stock market? Diversify now while oil continues to go up in price, with expert predictions to be at $125 a barrel soon. Freedom Crude allows you to take advantage of the enormous profits that both companies and producers of domestic oil have been experiencing. Hurry before December 31st. Call Freedom Crude, 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985.
All right, 8:17. And Casey is here from Mid-Plains Community College. Good morning.
Good morning.
Question for you today.
Yes.
And I was going to ask Afif, and I failed to do that. We were talking earlier about, this is, I can find this here. Oh, by the way, it's Kim Basinger's 70th birthday today, just for the members of the...
How old?
70.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's in the running with Dolly Parton. Sorry. Case?
Yes.
This is pretend to be a traveler day, but in time traveling.
Okay.
So if you could travel to any period of time, or forward or backwards, where would you like to land if you was on a time machine?
That's a huge question.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Well, just you can think about it and answer it at the end if you like.
Well, okay, the first thing that popped into my mind was like the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was kind of turbulent, but I still think it was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it was like, when America was kind of becoming its own. Plus, I think like personally, I would like to go back like when my parents were kids and see how they were, you know?
Yeah.
Like hang out, like Back to the Future kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And there was in the 60s some turbulence, but there were some things that actually happened, civil rights and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just a period of time where there's a lot of history. So.
Well, very good. Very good. Well, that's a teacher in you.
Well, I hope Mr. Gary Wright was listening to that because he does teach a class called the 1960s.
Oh, he does?
Yes. So maybe I'll just go back in time with him. That should get some kind of award for segue.
Yes. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And a lot of us that are here and listening today had Mr. Wright for a high school history teacher.
Yeah.
And I'll have to tell you, Mr. Wright, if you're listening, I didn't agree with everything you were talking about back then, and I probably wouldn't agree with everything that you're telling us today, but boy, could we have fun in class, right?
Boy, I guess. Well, Dave, you can just join right in February when he teaches his next class on the 1960s.
That would be interesting.
You could be the guest speaker.
Well,
oh, boy.
Wow. I could put on my bell bottoms and come on in, Yeah. No, I thought it would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think that. I mean, I don't. While it would be neat to kind of see like, the 1800s or an earlier period of time, I'm a little too princessy for that.
Well, I mentioned earlier that a lot of us don't want to go back far enough there's no plumbing, right?
No, yeah. And just clothing and food and, sanitation. Like,
electricity.
I need some more of that. I mean, I guess maybe if it was like a day, but I don't know. I like to watch those shows, but every time I see someone dressed up in like, old-fashioned dresses, all I can think of is what must that smell like?
Yeah, and how hard would it be to get into all of that?
Yeah,
they cinch you up like you're putting a saddle on. And, yeah.
Plus, if I went to the 60s, I would definitely, I'm really into space travel and space exploration, things like that, and I would really like to see like the the Gemini and Apollo missions and things like that, which is in sort of that time frame. So
it is. That was the President Kennedy said we're going to go to the moon.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Nice. Now, what's going on at the school besides Mr. Wright's 1960s history class?
I just love that. I'm going to remember that one for a while. No, our semester's winding down, obviously, as you know. I did have a text sent out, an email, both probably, from the school to parents to remind them to get their students to come in and register for their spring classes. And I have to say, attendance has been a little dismal.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes. Now these kids are busy. I get it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, they just haven't gotten in there yet. But please remind your students, especially if you're a Broken Bow High School student, if you have a class that you need to register for spring, you need to get in and do that. Just a reminder that if you're taking statistics, you don't have to register for spring. So if that's the only class you have, then you're good to go. If you're taking calculus, you don't have to register for that again. But if you're in college algebra, or as the high school calls it, pre-calculus, you do need to register for your spring semester. So when in doubt, just give me a call or ask Mrs. Edwards or Mrs. Stamp, Mr. Schaaf. They can all help you with that process. English, you need to register for second semester. And then, of course, any online classes that you're taking. So make sure that you get in and do that. Now, a lot of the students, they're getting really savvy nowadays, and they can just go online and they do it themselves, which is great. I love that. But I don't always know that they got that done. So you might see me like checking in with students going, hey, what's going on? And they'll say, oh, I already registered. Well, if I don't look them up individually all the time, then I don't know necessarily that they registered. So just make sure that they get in and get that done. If they need help, they can stop down by my office or go online and register themselves. So
okay,
there you go.
You mentioned that when we was doing the phone interview last week. You need to get those the fire lit there. So
yeah. I mean, a lot of them, like I said, they kind of take care of themselves, but just want to make sure that we have that done before we leave for Christmas break. It's just a nice feeling. And speaking of Christmas break, December 31st this year, pardon me, is an important date because it is the date that the FAFSA is going to be released. Oh. Now, you might know maybe that the FAFSA in recent years has migrated back to where they were releasing it in October, right around October 1st. This year, they made some really significant changes to the FAFSA, and it delayed the release of that form. So it is scheduled to come out December 31st. Now, if you do the math, that's about 3 months of a delay time. So it's going to severely shorten the amount of time that students have to A, get it done, and then B, when that information gets to that student's institution, now those institutions have 3 months less time to process that aid form. So all of that kind of makes it a pretty big time crunch. So I would encourage families to be on the lookout for that when it comes out on December 31st and get that filled out. If you are a senior in high school or a current college student, get that done as soon as you possibly can. Because we don't want you to have any delays and then miss out on financial aid. Sure. Now, I can tell you that the new FAFSA form is significantly, it's supposed to be easier now. We'll see. But I do know that it went from around 100, I think it said the old FAFSA form had 108 questions, and this one has 36. So significantly less. And there's more data. You've been able to transfer data from the IRS over to your FAFSA for some time now, but you can transfer even more data now. So hopefully some of those 36 questions will be answered in that data transfer too. So going to be easier, hopefully a little bit more streamlined for families, but still really important to get that in and get it done. So, and again, this is going to be for the 24-25 school year.
Wow.
So there you go. All halfway through the decade.
That's crazy. So. All right. Before we let you go, you talked last time on the phone too about the job position that you had open.
Yes. We had a great pool of applicants. a huge pool of
That's
applicants.
great. That's good to hear.
I know. I was really excited. And we had some really, really good candidates that we went through the interview process with. We are doing final interviews on Monday.
Okay.
And I'm super excited. I think it's going to be, of course, a tough choice between the candidates that we have, but that's a good thing, when you're really looking for just the perfect person. So I'm excited.
Okay. Well, let us know when you make the announcement.
We will.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for coming in. We always appreciate having you here in the studio and see your smiling face and get your thoughts on time travel and whatever else comes up.
That would be it. If I had a superpower, time travel probably would be it.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Where's Bill and Ted when you need them?
That's right.
Your office, will it be closed between Christmas and New Year's?
Thank you, Brent. I knew I was forgetting something. Yes. We close, let me find the exact date for you. Our last day in the office is December 22nd.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that week of December 18th, I am going to be in Valentine 2 days, and I'm going to be in Sargent 1 day. So that doesn't leave very many days there. Hopefully we will have an assistant in place by then, but in case we don't save your important tasks to do at the college until that week, because I will be gone to Valentine. But we will be in the office through 3 o'clock on December 22nd, and then all Mid-Plains campuses close over the next week through the holiday break, and we reopen on January 2nd.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you before Christmas.
Yeah, I think I have one more week.
Okay, good. We'll do the Merry Christmas thing then.
There you go.
All
Sounds
right.
great.
We'll take a time out, and I believe it looks like there's activity in the lobby, so we'll be talking electricity in just a moment or two.
The holiday season is in full swing. Make sure your plans include visiting the Secret Garden. Holiday shopping hours are Monday to Friday, 11:30 to 4:30, Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30, and Sunday, 1 to 4. Save 15% off antiques, 10% off Watkins, and 20% off greenery. Romans 12, verse 18. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone. The Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
Ansley Lumber and Supply would like to thank their amazing customers for their business during this past year. They loved helping you with your projects inside and outside of your home, and they look forward to doing the same in 2024. Shop with them this holiday season. They have tools, muck boots, DeWalt tools, and more. From stocking stuffers to everything you need to build an entire home. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season. Ansley Lumber and Supply, downtown Ansley.
There's a lot of uncertainty in ag and business today. One thing you can always count on, though, is Nebraska State Bank looking for ways to help local ag producers and businesses be successful. Right now, NSB is running an ag and commercial equipment loan special that features a 7.95% fixed interest rate for qualified customers. Offer valid through January 15th, 2024. Call one of their local, experienced ag loan officers at 872-2466 to find out more about this limited-time loan special. Nebraska State Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is pain keeping you from doing what you love? If your neck, shoulders, back, or knees are preventing you from feeling your best, it's time to take action. Whether you've had it for years or it's due to a recent injury, you don't have to live with the pain. Pearson Physical Therapy of Broken Bow offers personalized treatments and flexible appointments that work around your busy schedule. Call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or visit us on the web at pearsonpt.com. The treatment you need, the care you deserve.
Hey everyone, this is Henry
And this is Brooke,
with Henry's Bar in Callaway,
wishing you all a very Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
Good to have you along. It's 8:30, and Rick Nelson is here from Custer Public Power. Rick, it's good to see you.
Well, good morning. It's good to see you, too.
All right, here's our question of the day.
Okay.
And I'm curious because I think you're kind of a reader and maybe a little bit of a historian, and I know you're interested in electricity. So this is Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can...
Is that a national thing?
I don't know. It's well, we get to prep every day, and that came in. I don't know who decided that.
But it is.
It is.
Got it.
So if you could time travel forward or backwards, what time period would you like to take a first-hand look at?
Huh. That's interesting. So I'm not sure I want to relive anything from the past.
Oh, okay. So you're a guy who wants to look at the future a little bit
Absolutely.
more.
I want to see how much AI takes over your life.
I don't. As a radio announcer, I'm not sure I want to talk about that.
Well, I know.
Yeah. Well, that would be interesting to be able to go ahead and look and see what positive effects and negative effects that AI will have, because we know it's on its way and it's already here.
Right. So, you know, from a sentimental perspective, there's always things to go back and look at.
Yeah.
If you could.
Yeah.
But I don't want to relive any of that.
I'm with you there. I was thinking about going back, and I wanted to see this country before all the immigrants came in and took it over, before, Europeans, started moving in. I wanted to be in that time period where the indigenous people were still running things. I thought that would be quite...
so about the 1500s?
Yeah, somewhere in there. And I know you wouldn't have a bathroom in the 1500s. Now, although I think the Romans had bathrooms in the 1500s. They were advanced in their plumbing.
Well, were the Romans still Romans in the 1500s?
Well, that's a good question. Probably not. They were probably gone, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I screwed that up.
So now where do you want to go?
I still want to be with the indigenous people.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But I understand
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that you want to look forward, because most of the time when you think time travel, maybe not, but my first thought was go back to that time.
Right.
Brent wanted to go back to the 1990s when Huskers were winning all their games.
Well, why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Exactly. Yeah. See? That's what I said. I'd love to go back and relive that period.
Relive. So I'm trying to relive any of that period. I won't go there.
I know.
So
I had a hard time. I think it's on film. You can go watch it.
Yeah.
And I do. But it's not like being there live and experiencing it. And everybody wanting to be us. That was great.
Okay.
Can
we talk about something I bet you've kind of read on?
Other than the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
60 Minutes, I happened to catch 60 Minutes and had kind of been watching this a little bit, but the quantum computers that they're developing that will be millions times faster than this one sitting here, that they're already implementing in some areas, and that would, coupled with AI, would be like a whole different world.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm sure the computers will be making these science fiction movies look accurate, as they'll start making logical decisions for us.
Yeah, well.
And that's part of what you're talking about, going up and seeing.
Well, I just want to see what happens, see what that looks like. But AI in today's world could create a Dave Burney sitting in this studio exactly the same way that you look today and talk.
I know. And that's scary. Not only because it could replace your job if you still wanted to work. There's no need to have two of me.
I'm not worried about replacing my job. I'm worried about replacing me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
all this that you're feeding up into Facebook has probably become part of that AI experiment, and pretty soon Dave Burney is going to be Dave Burney on Facebook, and
that'll be it.
Yeah.
What will I be doing? Will I be dead? I suppose I'll be dead.
No. Well, I don't know. This is interesting conversation for a Friday.
It's getting deep.
I think we can tie it.
How deep you want to go?
I think we can tie it into something.
Well, we could.
Electricity.
So, speaking of AI, we are kind of using AI-ish to in some of the all of our control technology is becoming more and more AI-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming intuitive.
Right.
And so we're, especially a district as big as ours, where we cover 8,000 square miles, 20 years ago, if we just had SCADA so that we could control breakers out there, it'd save 3 hours of drive time. Now it's kind of, we're getting to the point where we could almost make this system redundant in the fact that things would happen not in an automatic basis, but on using technology to actually measure the differences in normal opens and fault current to identify where that fault is at, automatically open it up and feed in from other directions and use some of that. So
really,
how's that for AI?
Well, what you're saying is what we alluded to, that AI, advanced computer technology, will, this is a good example, not only look at the situation, measure the situation, and make a logical move and do it itself.
So we've been investigating this technology for quite some time now, and we actually have the ability to look at our system in not just 2D, which is voltage and amps, but also 3D, which adds a time curve to it. And so once you have that ability, then you measure everything with a reference to time, then you can pinpoint and use a computer to analyze what happened, and then that becomes learning that when this happens again, then we know that this is going to happen, or this fault happens, or whatever.
Yeah, Rick, if you think about it, how long have we known each other? 25 years?
Yeah.
So when we first met, we had to go up every month and read our meter. And everybody out there that's living on a farm or ranch had to read all their meters.
Had to read their meters.
And, send in the numbers and then get billed that way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think how, and some of that's come in the last, 10 years or so.
Yeah. 10, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So it's almost like we've forgotten that we had to go out and read those meters.
Yeah.
And you had to write it down, then you had to send it in with your check.
Yeah.
And then we take those and then we actually hand input those into the system so that we knew how much that you use. How weird is that today?
That's pretty weird. Also, it wasn't that long ago that you were introducing new technologies, experiment over, I believe, in the Arnold area, passing data, the farmers being able to utilize data and internet, wireless internet connections and so forth, integrated with all sorts of other programs. And
so we're still building on that today. Yeah. We just haven't talked about it much.
We haven't, have we?
But that's part of the system that Custer is looking at, because if you can operate your system, especially when you cover 8,000 square miles, every % of loss that we can pull off is about $2 million. And so, well, no, it's not that much. 10% is about $2 million. So about, even if we drop it down to 200,000 or 300,000, that's still a chunk of change.
Savings, yeah.
And so every percent that we can drop off is money that we save the customer. It's losses. It's the water running out the end of the hose kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the foam on the top of the beer that nobody likes. So that's anything we can do, and so that's what we're striving for is to go down a path that runs our system more efficiently.
And farmers out there were once thought of as behind technology, and nowadays, they're driving tractors that drive themselves. They have pivots that they can look at on their telephones and integrate that with electric use. You have times where you're allowing irrigation and times where you're asking them not to. All of this is all part of the puzzle.
It's all part of the puzzle. And the basis of Arnold, the basis of, what we're doing all came into play with Custer and adding that timestamp that I talked about, the three-dimensional portion of it, all came into play when we got fiber into all the substations. Then all of a sudden everything is on the same timestamp. We have the ability to move data. We have the ability to move everything in Arnold through that pipeline. And there's lots of things happening. And I think there are some things that will be coming out in 2024 that will push things even further.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we kind of slid into some exciting news talking about the future and your idea to move forward and take a look and see what it looks like. But you guys have always been, I think especially under your command, looking at all the technologies that make sense. Now, there's a lot of technologies out there that got lots of bells and whistles, and they look really slick, and and if they don't save you any money, if they
flashing lights and
or that you have to reprogram them every day and that sort of thing. You have to wade your way through all of that.
So if I take this opportunity to maybe project into the future, I see right now today every distribution utility in the United States operates two-dimensionally, voltage and amps. I see in the next 10 years that what we're doing is the basis for how every distribution co-op works in the future. And primarily because, so whether you're a cooperative or a public power district, it's inherent that 90% of those entities serve that last mile, and that last mile is rural. And so that just leads into low density, it leads into losses, it leads into a lot of electricity that is wasted. So when we start talking about efficiency, that's how we're gaining efficiency from the utility perspective. We always want our customers to be the most efficient, which we talk about a lot.
We do.
And I'll say it again, the kilowatt that they save is a kilowatt hour that we don't have to buy. Same thing goes for the utility system. The kilowatt hour that we save that we don't sell is one we don't have to buy.
Can we switch over a little bit to the hardware side, or the on-the-ground equipment that you need? I know you have the technology, but the improvements that you keep making, new lines, new poles, all those expansions. I know you always have kind of a plan. Not kind of a plan. You guys always set up a goal, a plan, a mission plan for what you want to do in the next year or two. And I'm sure you've discussed that recently.
20 years ago when I took over, we developed a 10-year plan, made it through that 10-year plan, and developed another one. The basis of that first 10-year plan was to look at the system over a period of time. And so nobody can afford to go out and replace every breaker, every controller, every regulator. No utility can do that. But over time, you build it into the rates, and you go through. That allows you to replenish the system with new controls, new control technology. We're on that second iteration of that, and we started that about, 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Jeff and Jamie are working pretty hard on, we're trying to do 2 substations a year, upgrading that technology. We took the step and went through every substation so that we can have a new control mechanism, at least in the sub, and then we're going through again now and replacing controls and breakers as needed. Try to do 2 of those a year. I know. So Gates substation, mm-hmm. which happened yesterday, is part of that renewal process and part of that new breaker. We put in new breakers. We fixed some hot spots. That's why we had that outage yesterday, was we can't do everything hot. We want to, but we just
Safety,
can't. Yeah. So we had to take an outage, but that's part of this next plan. Mm-hmm. So as we move forward into the future, we have the real-time data, real-time timestamps. We have the new controls. We have, we'll have all that in place to be able to roll out the AI-ish mm-hmm. kind of computer that sits in the background and helps us come to conclusions a little bit quicker, and also provides solutions to operate the system in a way that reduces outage time and impacts to the customer.
Well, you've taken us on a time travel into the future of Custer Public Power today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure there's more. But we kind of hijacked you when you came in as usual. So is there something else that you had on your mind when you walked in today?
No, let's continue to go down this path.
Okay.
Because something else that is in the future is thinking about a utility from a different perspective. And that is, maybe we don't have to spend $10 million to build a transmission line to a specific area to support voltage. Sometime in the near future, you might see something along that lines. At Custer, you might see it in other places in Nebraska. I think the microgrid concept is something that we still need the prices to come down in batteries and solar and some of that stuff. But and just so we all know, I grew up putting poles in the ground. I grew up putting wire in the air. I'm a die-hard wire in the air kind of a guy. So some of this is a little difficult for me to let go, because if I've got T2 4-aught running down the road and I can see it, then I know that next substation has the voltage it needs. I can't see electrons, so I don't know that this little battery contraption over here is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think that we owe it to our customers to investigate these types of scenarios and to maybe rethink our thinking about how utility works, and that's just Rick Nelson's perspective. Mm-hmm. And we're going into the 3rd or 4th year where we haven't had a rate increase, and we're going into the 5th or 6th year that we have been passing back a PCA from our wholesale supplier. So I throw that in there because it's not like we're having to have rate increases in order to pay for this, because again, I look back 20 years, it's all about a 10-year plan, and then it's about another 10-year plan. Well, now we're into another 10-year plan, and that 10-year plan has some other things. So what if we're not using more capital, more money, then we don't need a rate increase. But if we can fit it all into that little bucket of money, then we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. To be able to use the technology and your long-term plans to, save energy, and save the customers some money. That's you guys' goal. You're a public power provider, so that probably gives you a little advantage over some other providers who are worried about the shareholders' returns on their stocks.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It's all about affordability, reliability.
Yeah.
And if we can do that and not discriminate between rate classes, where one rate class is supporting another rate class, that's the basis of public power. That's the basis of all the margins we have go back into the system. They don't go to shareholders. And so the trick is to make sure that we have the right amount of money coming back so that we can replace what we have going in the future.
And with all that said, anybody out there that has a business and have improved their technologies, whether it be in ag, manufacturing, retail, or whatever, services industry, you can have some wonderful technology, but you still need wonderful people to make all of that work. And the team that you have fits nicely, dovetails with the technology that you've built and the long-term plans you built. Because we see your trucks going by here about every day, going out to do something and clear up, like you say. You cover such a vast area. It takes a team, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we still need to put wire in the air and poles in the ground, or even in today's terms, wire in the ground. We have a lot more underground in inventory now than we've ever had in the past. And that's, I don't think, a bad thing. We haven't consciously said, well, we're not putting wire in the air anymore, but we've come to realize that is now, in today's terms, and we need to talk a little bit about that. In today's terms, that underground is almost cheaper.
Oh, really?
Which it hasn't been in the past. We've seen, and we've talked about this, so prices have skyrocketed. Delivery times are out 2 years on what we used to be able to get in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the world situation's not helping, is it?
It's crazy. So just transformers alone are close to probably threefold the cost as they were 2 years ago, which is problematic from a new service perspective. So although the kilowatt hour hasn't increased, in other words, the rates, the revenue requirements haven't increased. The cost to put in a new service has increased, and that's not something we've been keeping up on, and so we're looking at some solutions again using the tools that we have in the toolbox. There are some things we can do to make sure that we are closer to a real-time cost instead of a 5-year-old cost. And so there are some changes there that are happening, but from a kilowatt hour perspective, it hasn't changed for 4 years. And
in this world today, that's pretty phenomenal.
I know, yeah.
You know, with we went through a tremendous change in interest rates in the last year or so, from very, very low to probably, we've been there before. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And we've had, inflation and all those sorts of things. So to have a 4-year period where you're talking about stable prices for your electricity is it's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah. It really is. By the way, the interest rates, we all remember a time where interest rates today are only about half or even a third of what they were
it's true.
In a period of time where we probably don't want to remember.
We don't, because I remember banks closing and businesses closing and farmers going out of business, and when those high interest rates, when it come time to pay, it just didn't work out.
Yeah. So the only reason to go back to the early 80s is to listen to the music, not to necessarily be a part of the 17%.
Yeah, I'd even argue the music, but
well, you argue the music. I'm still going to say that's the best that's ever been.
Oh man, yeah, I'm really getting beat up today. I blew it on the Roman theory there. I got in the wrong century.
Yeah.
And then
I really hated to call you out on that. But
no, that's fine. My wife would have called me out on it when I got home.
Historian out there saying, "You're 1,000 years off, Dave."
I know. I shouldn't. I shouldn't have went to Crete on vacation and saw all those old archaeological before Christ things. I'm a little messed up.
Yeah.
But I do know that at that time the Romans had toilets.
Pretty ingenious.
Yeah, they were quite and the people ahead of them, actually. I mean, there was other Crete has been occupied by a lot of different people and countries over the years. So but they did have plumbing during that period of time. So you could go back there but you'd have to be rich. You'd have to live in the palace, in the castle. I don't know that they had plumbing, out on the farm.
Yeah, probably not. No. But they also recognized gravity at that point.
They did. They knew how to manipulate it.
I'm sure the farmers were
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Can I ask you a question? We're about out of time. And, first of all, I wanted to ask you if there's anything else we wanted to talk about. I know with everything you've described here today, you also have the public relations side of things. You have Taryn and April and all that offer discounts and so forth for being more efficient. Taryn does a really good job reaching out to the communities and the newsletter and all of that. That's all something I'm sure you're going to continue to do next year.
Yep, 100%. So we've the January edition's off to the printer. Calendars are out.
Okay.
That's usually a huge hit. In fact, I was late getting our batch of calendars, and I was informed by Angie that you better get them in the doggone office pretty quick because they're beating the door down. So I apologize for not getting them there sooner. But so the calendars are out. Taryn had a busy day yesterday on Facebook. Apparently, we were oblivious to the outage time coinciding with a Husker volleyball game. So we heard that.
I bet you did.
So that's another thing to put on the worry list.
Watch the schedules.
Oh boy.
Yes, there you go.
For everybody out there that was watching that and had an outage yesterday, I sincerely apologize. But
well, it's hard because you don't always volleyball, basketball, and all the different things going on. You have to check the schedule.
Well, it's not very often you're playing a volleyball match at 1:00 in the afternoon.
That's true.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I did want to ask you kind of question about providing electricity, because I know you and I consider us, buds. We've known each other for 25 years and good buddies. And my neighbor, Brent, he wants to put up some inflatables.
No, he does not.
Christmas inflatables.
No, he does not.
Sure.
And I'm encouraging him to, because I just love the ones across the street. For our other neighbors have a snowman and a beautiful tree and so forth. He's worried about the electricity, and I told him we could work something out. But with all this new technology and so forth, isn't there just a way you can send me electricity for the inflatables wirelessly?
That's a concept that's actually been worked on for over 100 years.
Really?
Yeah. I think Tesla was working on that back in the day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
it still doesn't work.
It still doesn't. Well, if it does, would you let me know? Because Brent's got a big hang-up about an extension cord across the street.
See, what he's not telling you is he wants me to purchase inflatables to put in his yard.
Oh.
And then still charge me for the electricity. That's the part he's leaving out.
But not the use of the yard.
Just to make sure
not the use
I'm not going to charge you for the use of the yard.
So it's not the land use issue.
No. And here's the thing, Rick.
Will your taxes go up if you put that? It's not permanent, though, is it?
No, it's just a holiday sort of thing. Although we could have different ones for different holidays. But I guess the point here is that it brings such joy. And I have a little article I'm going to read later about what inflatables can do to people's hearts and warm their lives, and something that I think Brent would want to do in our neighborhood. But if he has those located on his yard, he's looking at the rear end of a snowman. He's not able to enjoy them. If he puts them in my yard and faces them towards
I see.
He'll be able to get the joy out of it and use my land at no charge.
At no charge.
But I need a way to get electricity, because we can't
from his house to your house.
Because I'd rather have him pay for the electricity. So I need to get an extension cord to run from his place over to mine.
So I haven't been around those inflatables. Is it just blowing air into them and then they inflate up?
Some LED
so it has
lights.
Nothing to do with hot air?
No, not that I know of. It's just air.
Oh. Okay.
So,
because there's a lot in here. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying to work together with all of you guys. You provide the electricity, Brent provides the inflatables, I provide the yard. Sounds like a pretty darn good deal to all of us. It's a win-win-win.
Huh. I'm just a little speechless right now, Brent.
Welcome to my world.
I don't know what.
Welcome to my world. A little bit speechless.
Maybe there's a solar thing that Dave could buy to put on it.
Yeah, there's an idea. I like the part where you said Dave could buy. I had to add that in there because otherwise it'd come back on you.
I think there's a possible
solar and battery
solution to that. There's probably a government grant that we might be able to get for that.
Well, yeah, there's hundreds of billions of dollars in grants.
Wouldn't you like
that's
to
a
be
whole
a part of
subject
that?
we didn't even get into.
We didn't talk solar and wind very much. We'll have to do that next time.
No, I was talking about grants, but yeah.
Well, grants and how big a panel do you think I need? Because I could just put it on the light pole there right across from Brent's place.
Okay, now we're getting into safety, and I'm not going to condone putting anything on anybody's pole because we don't like that.
And also, if I put the panel,
because then my guys have to climb up through there to get to the top, and that's a safety issue. So I'm gonna side on protecting our people.
It's kind of the yin and the yang of it, because if
it's the city of Broken Bow guys, but I'm still protecting the linemen out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But if we, the three of us, put a solar panel in my yard.
Wait a minute. How did
again, welcome to my life. Here's we all of a sudden. We. Yeah.
Well, it will allow the sun not to penetrate. It's going to soak up the sun and make energy, which is good. But the grass underneath that panel is not going to grow. And then I'd have to figure something out there, and I'd have to be a surcharge to you because it was damaging my lawn.
Oh, here we go. I'm speechless again. I don't know where to go.
Again, welcome to my world. Yeah, I don't know where to go. I've given up. I used to try to debate things with him, and now I just give up. I just sit here and be silent.
You know, at the end of the day, the best advice I've ever given or have gotten is always buy low and sell high.
I like that. I think that's a very good philosophy.
Yep. And it's always a great day to have a great day.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to end the show.
Absolutely.
It's a good way to end it. Yeah. And then just to add to that,
he didn't get it, did he?
No, he didn't. A good way to end the segment. He just couldn't go with that.
Cha-ching.
Did he? Yeah.
Well, jeez. We're like 6 minutes over time. I'm going to have to
get
charge
ready
you
for
this.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, get ready, Rick. Here comes your bill.
Ching, ching.
See, how many kilowatts did that take?
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Oh, thank you.
Are we going to see you before Christmas?
Nope. Have a Merry Christmas.
So
Merry Christmas.
To you.
Yep. So, happy holidays and Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year, though.
All right.
It's been a great partnership working with you guys. Appreciate it.
You bet.
News is next.
CBS News Brief. The U.S. economy added 199,000 jobs in November. Economist Gus Fauché says it's just what the Fed's been hoping for.
Basically, the number of jobs being created each month is equal to the number of people who are entering the workforce. And that's a good long-run way for the economy to continue to grow.
An Iraqi-born American citizen is expected to appear in court in Albany, New York to face federal charges after police say he shouted "Free Palestine" before firing 2 shots into the air outside a synagogue on the first night of Hanukkah. Mayor Kathy Sheehan.
No community is immune, and we take this very seriously.
With the war in Gaza entering its 3rd month, the UN Security Council could vote today on a resolution calling for a ceasefire. Palestinian Ambassador Riyad Mansour says too many innocents are dying.
A large number of them, 70% of them, are women and children.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Kevin Wyatt.
Thursday night football. The Patriots upend the Steelers in Pittsburgh 21-18, knocking the Steelers out of a playoff spot in the AFC standings. Bailey Zappi, 3 first-half touchdowns in the win, as the Steelers now just 7-6 on the season and on the outside looking in. NBA in-season tournament, the Lakers demolished the Pelicans 133-89 to advance to face the Pacers in the finals, as LeBron James 30 points, Anthony Davis 16 points and 15 rebounds. The Pacers, for their part, beat the Milwaukee Bucks 128-119. In the NHL, the Kings shut out the Canadiens 4-0 to improve to 11-0-0 on the road. That sets a new NHL record for consecutive road wins to begin a season. And Alex Ovechkin recording his 15,000th career point in a 5-4 shootout loss to the Stars.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. High temperatures working up into the lower 50s for today under partly sunny skies. Winds out of the west and northwest at 10 to 20. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a low of 25. Windy and colder for your Saturday. We're back in the upper 30s for highs under partly sunny conditions. Winds out of the northwest, 25 to 30 miles per hour. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
Have you ever asked a farmer if they talk to their fields?
Promise me you'll grow nice and tall. You got that? No, you were corn in 2013, not 2014. Hope you were thirsty. You think Cheryl's still mad at me?
After all that talking, sometimes it's time to listen. Your field has a voice, and John Deere Operations Center helps you hear it. Unlock every acre's full potential by using both agronomic and economic data. Visit johndeere.com/operations center and unlock your operation.
They run errands and equipment. They bring parts and dinner. They drive the combine and the kids to school. They feed livestock. They fix skinned knees, broken fences. They do the books and lead the 4-H group. They simply make everything better. John Deere celebrates the strength and resilience of the women that make farms run. They make all the difference.
This Kids Christmas interview is brought to you by Reed's Food Center.
This is Mary Jane, and I'm in Arnold talking with
Ricky.
How are you this afternoon?
Good.
Good. We just had Thanksgiving. What's coming up soon?
Christmas.
Is that your favorite holiday?
Yeah.
All right. What's one thing you like to do for Christmas?
Make gingerbread cookies.
Make ginger. Oh, fun. Okay. How do you make those?
We make the cookies and then we frost them and sprinkle them.
Okay. What color of frosting do you put on?
Like white and black, like Christmas colors.
Christmas colors, okay. Do you make those special for Santa then?
No.
No, those are just for you guys to eat? Okay, do you make cookies for Santa?
No.
No? Okay. All right. What is one thing that you want for Christmas?
I want a TV.
A TV for your bedroom. Okay, what would you watch on your TV?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay. Do you have a Christmas tree up yet?
No.
No? It's kind of early, isn't it? Yeah, it's still November. Okay. How do you think Santa got so big?
Eating all the cookies.
Okay. Do you have any pets at home?
Yes.
What do you have?
Dogs, cats, chickens, pigs, cows, horse.
You have lots of pets.
We have a farm.
You do have a farm. Do you have to help with any of the chores on the farm? What's your job?
I have to get the eggs. I have to feed the cats.
Okay. Do those chickens peck at you when you try to get the eggs? Oh, good. That's good. Okay. Do you ever break any eggs when you get them?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
If we drop them.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Most of them get cracked because our dog eat them.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it?
No.
Okay. Does Mom get upset when the dog eats them?
Yeah.
I bet so. Okay. What's your favorite thing to do here at school?
Do math.
Math? What do you like to do about math?
Add.
Adding. Okay. What's one of the problems that you're adding?
Like 2 plus 3.
Okay. Do you know what 2 plus 3 is?
Yeah.
What?
5.
You are smart. That is good. Okay. Do you like snow?
Yeah.
If we got a lot of snow and you could build a snowman, how would you build one?
I would get a little snowball and then start rolling it all around.
Okay. How many snowballs would you make?
3.
Okay. Would you put any eyes or ears on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Not ears.
Not ears. No, there's no ears. Silly me. What would you use to make your eyes with?
Like black coal.
Okay. How about the mouth? How do you make the mouth?
Rocks.
Rocks, okay. And do you put a nose on him?
Yeah.
What do you use?
A carrot.
Oh, okay. Good job. Okay. Do you know any of Santa's reindeer?
Dasher, Prancer.
Dasher and Prancer, and what else? Do you know any others?
I'm trying to think of their names.
What is the most famous reindeer of all?
Rudolph.
Rudolph, and what makes him so special?
He has a red nose.
You're correct. Okay. Well, Ricky, thanks for visiting with me. Would you like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. Same here.
Merry Christmas.
All right. This is Ricky at Arnold School. Thank you.
This Kids Christmas interview was brought to you by Reed's Food Center.
So if you're interested in joining the Pizza Hut team, contact Ladarius, General Manager at the Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. We talk about pizza, obviously, all the time and what they have going on there, but don't forget about some of the other menu options that they offer at Pizza Hut. They offer Black Forest ham and cheese sandwiches, as well as the Supremo sandwich, along with chips or French fries. Check them out. Also, don't forget about their delicious pasta line. Options include cheesy Alfredo sauce, chicken Alfredo, red sauces with Italian meat added, or veggie sauce, also an option. Pasta dishes can come with breadsticks, cheesy bread, or garlic bread. Other pizza or other options include their pizza melts, chicken, bacon, parmesan, meat lovers, buffalo chicken, or pepperoni lovers. So check it out. Pizza Hut in Broken Bow, open 11 a.m. until 10 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday open till 11.
The Tumbleweed Cafe, they've changed things up a little bit. You remember when they changed their hours and discontinued evening meals. But then they made an adjustment with that and added some services as well. And then recently they've added some more. So now they offer express meals through the drive-thru at the Tumbleweed from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. So I, the other day, wanted to have a hamburger, cheeseburger actually, and I thought, hey, I'll just drive out through the Tumbleweed and pick me up a cheeseburger and some fries. And I went through the express line somewhere around 1 o'clock, I think it was, and Carmen, with her friendly smile, opened the drive-thru and says, what can I get you? I probably had my cheeseburger in 4 minutes, with more fries than I could eat. And you can get something to drink with that. And so it's just like any other drive-thru. You can just drive through from 11 to 2 p.m., grab a hamburger, cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, or chicken strip and fries. And you can also still call ahead for your orders and pick them up at the drive-thru. And you can order lots of different things that way. But they are now going to offer the express meals 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So it's just like going to any other franchise-type hamburger joint and drive-thru and pick yourself up a cheeseburger. But here's the difference. It tastes like a cafe hamburger.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, a Tumbleweed hamburger. Delicious. So that's available for you. And don't forget about their nice selection of casseroles to take home and pop in the oven. And they'll be open until 6 in the evenings, and you just drive through or call ahead and pick up those delicious. We had the beef stew, which was really good, chicken casserole, which was delicious, and just popped them in the oven, put them at 350 for about, 20, 30 minutes, and you got yourself a meal. So you can do that after work, pull through and pick those up. And, of course, they have all those baked goods there as well. So there you go. Open 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. daily for dine-in, and then from 4 until 6 you can drive through and pick up all those goodies. Carmen and the crew at 872-5454.
Are you concerned with your hearing and or worry about missing out on conversations with family at gatherings this holiday season? Well, if so, here's the person who can help. That's Roxanne at the Nebraska Land Hearing Center. Electronic custom fit hearing protectors are personally fit by Roxanne to assure you are not damaging your precious hearing. It's great for hunters, shooters, and hobbyists. This is a fabulous gift idea for a loved one or a friend. So give the gift of hearing this holiday season for a hearing evaluation and hearing aids. Help your loved ones stay connected with life. Gift certificates are available through the Nebraska Land Hearing Center. No need to travel to Lincoln or Omaha or anywhere because Roxanne sells the top technology available in the world right here in Broken Bow. So give her a call today to set up your appointment. Number is 308-384-3852. That's 308-384-3852. You'll find their office in downtown Broken Bow in the Broken Bow Chamber Building.
Hey, did you hear the news?
No, I don't know. Did I?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Okay, well, tell me the news, and then I'll tell you if I've heard it.
You can win a free beginning to paint with oils lesson for yourself or someone you know over the age of 15. Now, we're talking art here now.
Okay.
Oils are so easy and forgiving to use, and all the supplies will be provided for you in this one lesson. I would love to have that lesson, Brent. All you need to do is enter the drawing at the Wild Rose Gallery on Saturday, December 16th, and visitors on that day will be able to choose one of the hand-painted ornaments from their tree for free as long as they last. Don't forget to check out their fun gifts and stocking stuffers, and you can sign up for upcoming workshops at low cost, a convenient way to learn, meet people, and have fun and shop locally. So the open house at the Wild Rose Gallery is December 16th from 1 until 6 p.m. Refreshments, greeting cards, sculptures, paintings, decorations, their Christmas village, and you can enter that drawing that we talked about, and also a drawing for a chance of one of 4 beautiful gifts that will be on display. It's all happening on the 16th.
All right, sounds good. Happening tonight is they're bringing music to Sylvester's in Broken Bow. Come on out and hear the sounds of Audacion, a rock, pop, punk band from Kearney. Now, if you're a fan of bands like Green Day, Blink-182, Breaking Benjamin, and Skillet, you're going to love Audacion. Also says enjoy Jell-O shots tonight as well. So grab your friends. We're saying even grab your enemies and head to the quiet little place that rocks, Sylvester's, East Highway 2 in Broken Bow, where Audacion will be taking the stage tonight.
Cattlary Farms, this is a big weekend. 4 miles east of Loop City. Tomorrow, December 9th, is Reindeer Day. And along with the reindeer, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there. And they will be on hand from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. tomorrow, featuring Mr. and Mrs. Claus and live reindeer. And admission for this event is $3. Children 3 and under are free. And it's quite a day. Plus, you can also do shopping in and around that time slot as well. They're going to be open until 6 p.m., from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Saturday as well. But from 1 until 3, it's the special event, Reindeer Day, 4 miles east of Loop City, Cattlary Farms. And their final day of open for the holidays is Sunday, April 17th, from 1 p.m. until 6 p.m. And Wednesday through Fridays, they're open noon to 6. Saturdays, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Sundays, noon to 6. And the final day on Sunday, the 17th.
Here is a job opportunity that is posted now on sandhillsexpress.com. Go to the employment page, take a look at all the details. Full Circle Irrigation, your Valley dealer, has the career for you. They are currently hiring a service technician in both their Broken Bow and Litchfield offices. Do you enjoy the great outdoors? Do you want a career that allows for growth? Well, if so, their offices in Broken Bow are you can call their offices in Broken Bow at 767-2053. You can also visit with them at their Litchfield office. The number there, 446-2222. Contact them for more information. If you'd like to apply, you can go straight to their website, which is fullcircleirrigation.com. Full Circle Irrigation, your local Valley dealer. They offer a complete benefit package, paid time off, 401k reimbursement, and health insurance. Full Circle Irrigation, your Valley dealer, currently hiring a service technician in both their Broken Bow and Litchfield offices.
The Nebraska Department of Transportation has an opening in the Broken Bow facility, and they will offer you the job, and whoever gets hired will also have training, career development, advanced opportunities, ample paid time off, a work-life balance, and comprehensive benefits package that includes a matching retirement contribution. You need to apply online, and this is an online state application on statejobs.nebraska.gov, statejobs.nebraska.gov.
Some more job opportunities available for you. All of these that we're about to mention are through Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership. They are looking for an individual to work as a center assistant in their Ord, Burwell, and Broken Bow locations. This is a full-time position, 40-hour per week position with a starting wage of $14 per hour. You would be assisting where needed in the classroom, depending on location, helping the teacher and staff with activities, documenting, and cleaning. They also have an opening for a early childhood programs program interpreter. Now, this could be a part-time or full-time position, depending on the program needs. You would need the ability to speak, read, and write fluently in both Spanish and English. You would be providing translation for families and children ages birth to 5 and traveling to the different locations as needed to provide translation services. And they also have an opening for a data entry specialist in Loop City. This is a full-time, 40-hour per week position. Starting wage would be between $16.50 and $18 per hour, depending on qualifications. You would be typing, filing, and compiling pertinent information, also entering data into an agency-specific database. To find out more about any of these positions, you can contact CNCAP at 308-745-0780. The extension is 105. Or you can apply online by going to centralnebraskacap.com.
And the Husky Wall of Fame nominees deadline is approaching for the Arcadia Husky Wall. They'd like to remind everyone that the deadline for submitting new nominees is January 4th. So stop by the school and pick up the form that you'll need. And it's also a $10 fee, which needs to accompany each nomination. If you need more information, call the school office in Arcadia at 308-789-6522 with your questions.
The Country Store in Broken Bow is open for the holiday season. You'll find them located on the north side of the square right next to Bruning Bank, and they are open now through December 23rd. Their hours are Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5 each day. They also want you to know that they're going to have baked goods for sale on Thursdays and Fridays, so check that out today. So many unique gift ideas that it is hard to mention them all, but some of the things that they do mention include seasonal decor, ornaments, crocheted gifts, towels, dishcloths, baby blankets, pottery, woodworking items, some free hand-drawn-on wood even, also beautiful birdhouses and wooden toys, as well as candles, lotions, and soaps, aprons, and jewelry. Stop in and browse at all the unique ideas for gifts for others or for yourself. It's the Country Store, open now through December 23rd. Their hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and they're located on the north side of the square in Broken Bow, right next to Bruning Bank.
Thank you, Brent. Let's review sports real quick. We have a basketball doubleheader tomorrow that you'll be covering. And that is in Minden, right?
Yes, busy day sports-wise tomorrow at our radio stations. Broken Bow playing Minden in basketball. The games were originally scheduled for tonight, but we do emphasize they were moved to tomorrow. So Broken Bow will be at Minden tomorrow afternoon for girls and boys basketball, and we will broadcast those games for you on KCNI 1280 AM and 96.3 FM. Want to emphasize that. Broken Bow basketball coverage on KCNI radio tomorrow afternoon. Girls basketball varsity game will start our coverage at 3:30. The boys game will follow. And again, those games will be broadcast on KCNI radio tomorrow. Reason for that is because we'll have Husker volleyball on the air for you on KBBN FM tomorrow. Nebraska taking care of business yesterday, rolling over Georgia Tech in a sweep, and they will take on the Arkansas Razorbacks, who upset Kentucky yesterday at Lincoln's Bob Devaney Sports Center. So it'll be Nebraska and Arkansas in the regional final, with the winner moving on to the volleyball Final Four. And we'll broadcast that match for you courtesy of the Huskers Radio Network tomorrow on KBBN 95.3 FM. Match is scheduled for around 5. The coverage on the network will start at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Hi, Christy.
Good morning.
Did you know that today is National Salesperson Day?
No, I wouldn't have known that. I don't see anything special around here, so...
Well, we were talking earlier that since it is National Salesperson Day, that you and Teresa might bring in some goodies.
Yeah, go get donuts.
I guess I
celebrate.
Didn't think of that.
You didn't think of that?
No, I was just expecting balloons and cake when I got here, and there was nothing.
For National Salesperson's Day, you expected...
For the two that you got, yes.
Okay, I thought you guys were bringing... Didn't Teresa bring anything?
Nope.
Okay, all right. We're a little disappointed, but anyway, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was our sales staff and failing to bring in treats on their very special day, but...
You know, I hope it's okay I say this. We give them a hard time, especially Christy, but we are very thankful for them.
We are.
They do a great job, so thank you. Thank you, girls. Happy Salesperson Day.
Agreed. And I just, I don't know Teresa that well yet, and she's still on the 6-month probation period before we start giving her a really hard time. I hope she sticks it out, and we don't scare her away after the 6-month probation period. Brent.
Yes, Dave.
I received a breaking note here from CBS.
Oh, more breaking news. You've been full of breaking news today.
Yeah. The Ohio State has a study that they just released about midnight last night, I think it was.